G'day everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Glass Cage Pod. I'm JH.
And I'm George.
And I think this is 31, could be 32. I should have checked.
We're in the 30s.
But guys, we're back. It's all thanks to Serafin. A massive, massive thank you to them. It wouldn't be possible without them, so a nod to them. Serafin Machinery have a passion for introducing innovation into the agricultural industry and providing customers with exceptional service and quality products at the best prices. Each day, they strive to be the seeding and tillage specialists.
By providing a combination of Australian designed and manufactured seeding and tillage equipment with imported quality products, Serafin can provide the very best range of farming equipment to suit Australian farmers, contractors and resellers.
With dealers in most states, Serafin Machinery believe their continued success is a result of four factors.
Selling quality equipment at competitive prices,
Ensuring every experience is A+ rated.
exceptional staff who share the same values as the company,
Industry-leading manufacturing, assembly and servicing facilities. All right, George, we're back together, just you and I this time.
Yeah, has been a little while. It's hard to keep track in my mind of when these get released. And
when they've been recorded.
Yeah.
Because we had Rhiannon on for one, so just me and Rhiannon.
Yep.
And then we had us and Froth.
Yep.
Both episodes well received.
Yes.
We'll try and get our dads on at one point
Yeah.
and just talk history of farm because a lot of people want to see that and hear that. So.
Yeah. Now they're back from touring around the country.
Oh, not yet. They're still touring.
Are they?
Well, maybe.
I think they're on their way back.
There's some. Well, by this episode, maybe anyway.
Yeah.
So we've got a bit to catch up on. We've got a few FUTYs. We've got a few grind your gears, a few questions.
Yep.
We've also got 2 voice notes. So I figured we'll start off on those.
Righto, let's get into them.
So our first voice note is from Joe Hare.
Here we go.
Ready?
G'day lads, it's one of the inaugural members of the Hughes Hall Ram Camp from 2009. I've just listened to the podcast with Rhiannon and just wanted to tell you that it's heartwarming to see how far you two have come since then. It has warmed my icy heart. With that said, I'd like to encourage George and his partner to get married. Seeing the fulfillment of all the good promises of marriage that Rhiannon and John enjoy. I'm just going to offer to cover the cost of it for George and his partner. I do have one condition though. It has to be a Catholic wedding in the tradition of the intellectual property thief Laurie Carmody, who I'm sure also had a Catholic wedding. Yeah, that's all I had to say, really.
Well, that's
He's going to pay for it.
He's going to pay for it. I think there's a couple of things to unpack there. One is that I think that is 100% fulfilled his promise to cyberbully me until I get married. So well done, Josiah.
Because our next episode we're going to do is a Q&A. He's also put in the Q&A, is George going to get married if I pay for it? So,
and I'd like to address the second part there, the intellectual property thief of our grandfather. Apparently there's some contradictory thoughts about the invention of the pinwheel rake, which we've got on fairly good authority was not stolen. Okay. Well, I'm going to address that one with the same gusto as the apology that I had to give Froth. And maybe.
All right. Our next one is from Edward Sims. Now, guys, Glass Cage Pod, send them in. I definitely prefer the voice notes. It's like we're actually chatting to them.
Yeah, it's much easier to listen than read.
Yeah, trust me. So much easier. All right, this one's from Edward.
Hey guys, love the pod. I've only just started listening to it, so I'm going to dive back to episode 6. A question under employment is when we have seasonal staff, what have you guys done for vehicles? How have you given the responsibility, or how have you told the guys, here, this is your vehicle to get from A to B, look after it, tell us if anything's wrong? Have you guys used a bond system, or have you guys got the staff with vehicles and they just drive to and fro and you might provide fuel? just wanted to know what your thoughts were. It's pretty broad. It could be a bit touchy, that subject. Obviously, we've got a lot of native animals that fly around the roads when we go past, and you hit things at night time. And yeah, just wanted to hear what you guys reckon. Cheers. Keep up the good work.
So it's a good one there.
Yeah.
Because especially for us, we are so far from town.
Yeah.
We need to provide them cars. And yeah, it's an interesting topic of how you bridge it or address it.
Yeah, well, we have a vehicle that is for the casuals to use. So
Yep.
like the part of the contract when they start with us is you've got your accommodation, this is your food, and everything else that we go through that's provided.
Yep.
And as part of that is a vehicle to go to and from town. So fuel, service, everything's all provided. It's not really for days off to go hooning down the beach or anything. It's just like that's like we always used to call it the old shopping trolley.
Yeah.
Go backwards and forwards from the shops, pick up your supplies, maybe have a quick look around town, and then back out to the farm. It's a difficult one. I know that some people say provide your own vehicle and we'll just give you fuel, but yeah, then it becomes difficult for if they, if they're in town and you say, hey, can you just go and pick up those parts from there?
Yeah.
Then they're on the clock. So then how is it fair for them to be using their own vehicle to go and pick up? Yeah, it's a bit different with permanent people, like permanent workers.
Yeah.
Where there's a lot more give and take, but yeah.
Yeah, we've always had a car. I think it got pretty interesting back when we had, like 10 employees.
Yes.
We used to call it the Kiwi Cruiser, obviously, because it's just driving Kiwis in.
Yep.
And that was, what he says about, hitting things. We've had Dad just used to essentially buy like $1,500 Commodores.
Yep.
And then, you go down to our rock and they're all just sitting there.
Yeah.
Because they used to hit roos and stuff like that. But that's why Dad would always supply cheap cars. We've kept that going. We've gone away from that to like a small compact SUV.
Yes. Yep.
Still doesn't fare any better with kangaroos. We've had one written off. We don't do any bonds or anything like that. It's more, you got to be responsible with the car.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we always supply fuel for it.
Yeah.
But they've got to look after it, wash it, clean it.
Yes.
We've had people with their own cars, and they're more that they just want to drive their own, and we just provide fuel.
Yeah. That's a personal choice thing.
Yeah.
Like and if they've got their own vehicle, 100%. Yeah. Like just so long as we can provide the fuel and it's all good.
Yeah. So it's like we have when we had a guy pissy drive, and Dad actually didn't fire him. I wanted to fire him.
Yeah.
Didn't get fired until he wasn't pissy driving. Henry was sober driving, and he was pissed in the back and was spewing everywhere and pissed himself. And then Henry had to clean it up, and then that's when Dad walked over and said, "Pack your bags, you're off."
Yeah.
So
that's just taking the piss, really.
Oh, yeah.
Like here's a vehicle that's provided for you. It's not free. It is not free to run in and out of town in a vehicle. The cost of servicing, you and I are both over 100 Ks out.
Yeah.
So, it's not many trips in and out of town before you're doing an oil change or you're doing some servicing or something breaks because it's on the corrugated gravel roads. And
yeah, I mean, we allow them and encourage them to go places and see things because, Esperance is a beautiful place.
Yeah.
And, you want to go and see things, see the beaches, but obviously be respectful to the car.
Yeah.
It's the hardest thing to get across because it's not their car, so they really don't care.
Yeah. You don't really want to be getting a phone call on a Sunday afternoon. It's like, hey, so the car's broken down. It's like, oh, okay, right, I will just come and grab it.
Yeah.
It's in Kalgoorlie. Good. Thanks for that, guys.
Yeah.
That's really what I want to be doing on a Sunday. I know that physically you can get there and you can get back. It's only 4 hours, but
yeah, we had one, and it was when it was harvest time. And I think we gave him the morning off, or maybe it was a late start. And one of the guys, Uncle Chop, you remember Uncle Chop?
Oh, yeah.
And he had a girlfriend in town at the time.
Yeah.
The Kiwi boys are coming in and, finding a missus. He had a girlfriend at the time, and he was like, no, it's good. I'm going to town. I'm not working. I think we've been working pretty hard. So essentially Dad was like, whatever, off you go.
Yeah.
And then the other boy's like, no, we're going to stay and work. So we worked. And he got through the big dip at Cascade there, smacked a reel on the other side, wrote the car off, and he's calling Dad saying, come pick me up. And Dad's like, no, stay there. I'll be there in 6 hours when I can get away from the farm and tow you back. Because it was an auto, so they had to obviously jack it up, get the tail shaft off. And so if they take it, it's at their own risk.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, there's a certain amount of responsibility that comes. It's like, you're on the road, like, it's on you.
Yeah.
It's not like, we're not going to babysit you all the way through.
Yeah.
So,
Rightio. Now, we've got a few questions. So we'll start with Josh. He has got one. He says, so he's got one for you, one for me. He goes, George, what are your thoughts on the root boot razor disc and why was the undercut disc important for you?
Root boot razor, fantastic. I love the fact that an Australian-made, designed disc module able to go on. Things that didn't work for us was the spring, like it not being hydraulic. It was a bit too fast and chattery.
Yep.
And the undercut, because undercut and offset in combination, they work the same as a rippertine, like that same angle.
Yep.
I think there's a magic, I'm going to get it wrong, but there's this magic angle, I think it's like 21.5 degrees or something, is the best for getting penetration into the soil.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah.
And that helps you guys incorporate your Treflan and stuff like that a lot better, doesn't it?
Gets a lot of soil throw.
It does the soil throw instead of a traditional disc, which is just...
Yeah, roller skate up on top and relying purely on weight to push those two discs in.
Yep.
These will bite in. I think the best one I've seen, I might have said it before, is the Boss single disc modules.
Yes.
Under their own weight, they're a couple 100 kilo module, which is not out of the realms compared to some of the Tyne modules out there.
Yep.
But that disc pulled itself into the compacted hard grey clay track just under its own weight. No downforce.
Yeah, okay.
Like that was it. Ripping angle was enough to pull itself in.
Yep.
So, that was us. We were like, right, well, that's proof of the pudding.
Yep. Rightio. Well, his second one was to me. And he said, what are your thoughts between the 9R and the quad track and why did you get a 9R for spreading? So we haven't... Oh, so the 9R we've got for spreading. So we upgraded from our 8430, which was a front wheel assist, 300 horsepower, and it was... Yeah, it just was too rough to tow our spreader. Eventually, we want to get a bigger spreader, but that won't be for a while. But we thought we'll upgrade the tractor and why not go to a four-wheel drive, something a bit stronger, bigger. It came on, going to 3 meters on those, you don't need to worry about cotton reels.
Yes,
which is a big issue on the front wheel assists.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I went that way. It is a bit overkill. We've got a 420 horsepower tractor. Dad nicknamed it the utility tractor.
Yeah.
Because all it does is spreading and chase spinning.
Yeah.
So really it's overpowered for what it does. But we've got power.
Yeah. And if you ever get into strife, like at least you've got 400 horsepower there to pull something else out.
Exactly, like the seeding tractor. Yeah.
And I think it was at that time cost point as well. Was that when the front wheel assists were just insanely expensive? Yeah. And everyone was doing it. There's a lot of New Hollands.
Yes, I mean, Will's got one that's 500.
Yeah,
because it was cheaper.
Yep.
Yeah,
that was. And you look and you go, so you can get a big frame tractor.
Yeah.
For the same price, higher horsepower.
Yeah.
Why not? Just do it.
Yeah.
So,
and then comparing that to the quad track, it's not really apples for apples, but the quad track is amazing. I do like the road track. It's a smooth ride, although we haven't driven at high speed with a load behind because obviously we only went max of like 20 k's an hour down the road with it.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that goes at seeding time, harvest time. The cab's a different layout. I don't like where the aircon vents are. It's shocking. It's all at the front. John Deere's all on the roof. You can point it exactly where you want.
Not the new cabs.
Eh?
Like the jump in the 616. Yeah.
Is it all at the front?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just stupid.
Yeah, they're at the front. They're at the front and they're at the back little areas.
That's silly.
It's missing the overhead.
No, you need the overheads. But yeah, look, again, I've said it before. I got another road track.
Yep.
If it came to it, the price was better than John Deere, which I don't know if they've changed, but
they need to. At some point, there needs to be an adjustment.
It was just too expensive to go for the John Deere, so we went that way. And that's why.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I do like the The quaddies are always the one that you see, and seeing them on the glass cage on Instagram.
Yes,
it's always,
yep.
Always, everyone's got the big quaddies out there.
Yep. All right, so our next one is from Luke, and again, he's got a question for each. George, I'm a fellow Borgo 3720 owner. Love the machine and the job it does, just really don't enjoy knowing I have to lay on my back to do any kind of work on it. Have you thought about converting it to a high lift frame similar to the Serafin? I think a separate hydraulic system to lift when having to work on would be amazing.
Yes, yeah.
Is that an option for those, is it?
The QDA is now, so they can come on the QDA frame.
Yeah.
So you can get them, and I mean, you look and you go, oh yeah, we've got the extra lift.
That's what we've got, the QDA.
Yeah, so it's a QDA with our modules, and there's a couple of little differences, I think.
But the QDA doesn't lift very high.
No. So it gains you, I think we worked it out, it gains you about the same. So when you're underneath the machine and it's worn discs, and then you scoot underneath, it would be about the same as when they're brand new as when they're worn.
Yeah, so
as I've just done a Russell Coit.
Yeah.
Grains of sand in the sky.
As many as stars in the sea.
It only gains you a couple of centimetres. But yes, look, every time we're underneath it and smacking our heads, I think, man, this would be brilliant if it was at chest height. We could just walk around. Yeah, I don't know how we'd do that, but
yeah. Because it's a whole different type of frame. Like he's talking the Serafin one. Like that's the Serafin high lift. It's a huge ram and system to lift up. So
yeah.
All right, and then he goes, and for you, JH, we have noticed a difference in your canola germination. Have you noticed a difference in your canola germination when you had fertilizer completely separated from the seed? I know in our system, keeping all N away from seed makes a big difference. So our N is always away from seed. We never put nitrogen with seed because you're going to burn it. So the one that we put away from the seed this year was the phosphorus, the Ag Star, and that was it was good because I could slow my fan right down, and I reckon we got a much better germination from it.
Yep.
And then when we had to speed the fan back up, we haven't noticed it now because we did get rain at the right time during seeding and it germinated everything.
Yeah.
But we did notice as it was coming through that where we had to speed the fan right up and have it back with the Ag Star, we weren't getting that even germination. But
yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that's the.
It'd be interesting to see how you go next year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it having a small, just. It's dedicated fan.
Yeah.
And then we've got the liquid. So
yeah.
That should be quite exciting.
Yeah.
Now, this one is not really a question, but I think more of just a letting us know what they're doing. So this is from Northern Riverina, and then because I've screenshot it, I'm pretty sure their last thing is electrical.
Yeah.
So he says, nod to sponsor. Curious to where solar farms stand. Oh, okay, so not to sponsor in the picture. They've got a little Serafin
cool.
disc thing.
Yep.
So anyway, he's curious where solar farms stand. I understand wind wasn't well received in your area. He's a solar farm plant manager, want-to-be farmer. We have trialled grazing sheep under the panels with not much luck. We have a trial of growing meat birds under the panels, looking positive. And now I have just sown 20 hectares of barley CL on the balanced land, not under the panels of my site.
Cool. That is really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think my understanding for when you get into it's called agrovoltaics, like the shared land of those solar panels there are whole panels. So too much shading. So the work that's been done, I think it was strawberry farms. It's very high input, intensive stuff.
Yep.
But they had panels that were spaced out more evenly over the area, and more gaps for sunlight to penetrate through for the crop underneath.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Obviously, the trade-off that you're not intercepting it for the energy production, but then you're actually able to utilise your land. So it's not a 1 + 1 = 2. It might be a 1 + 1 = 1.5 or something.
Yeah, it's interesting you said that running sheep under didn't work.
Yeah.
I think that's why everyone's go-to. Oh, you'd have a solar farm, you run sheep, you're not losing any land. But maybe it is because there's too much shade that they want to get out in the sun, or maybe what you're saying, it's not actually growing anything underneath the panels, so they're not actually getting anything to eat there anyway.
Yeah, well, that comes down to the design of the solar farm, where you've got to design it from day dot with the grazing in mind. So spread them out further. Yep. So, takes more land, but then there's a potential for, catching the water off those panels.
Yeah,
and concentrating
I know that's
the
something
water
that Tom, your brother's pretty advocating on is, make sure you catch water off them because you're going to...
Yeah. You've got heaps of catchment, 100% efficiency catchment with water.
Yeah.
May as well run some gutters. The other is get the height, so get them tall enough. So then, then it exposes you to wind, so you can graze cattle underneath it as well, cattle or sheep. So they're not. Well,
then you've obviously got to set it up properly. Like he was just saying, they haven't had much luck with the with the sheep. Meat birds though.
Yeah.
Wonder what meat birds he's growing.
The KFC variety. Or? Yeah. No, it'd be that's
turkeys
cool.
maybe.
Turkeys could be. Yeah.
Could be turkeys.
Yeah.
Few gobbles.
Not likely to be emus. They're not good meat.
Okay, we got one from Sam West, and he says, for someone like me that only ever had a trailing boom, can you flesh out the productivity gains of a SP? I can see the comfort and in-crop height benefits, but isn't productivity tank size times width times travel speed?
No, it's like, I'll use this analogy.
Yeah.
You've got your rattle gun.
Yeah.
And you've got your extension with a 19 mil on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your trailing boom is the one with the little wobbly knuckle. Now try and get that into the tyre and get it off efficiently.
Yeah. Like we dropped, so we were 7,000 litres, 150 foot. We went to 6,000 litres, 120 foot.
Yeah.
And we increased productivity because, one, the boom spray driver was happier.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. Two, fill times were a lot quicker.
Yep.
It had a much better filling system. Agitation was good. We could do atrazine through the boom instead of taking hours going over the top. And travel speed, we were going faster.
Yeah.
Because it was an old rickety trail boom. I was only going 24 Ks probably max, especially because you're in that tractor and you're just bouncing around. Yep. The SP is a lot more comfier, and I was probably going too fast in hindsight, but I was sitting on around that 30 Ks an hour. Auto steer wouldn't cut out to 36. So when I needed to get things done, I was hammering down.
Yeah.
Then we went to the AgriFac, which is bigger again. So 8,000 litres, 160 foot.
Yep.
We went down in speed. So we're now sitting on 22 Ks an hour, but we're doing more hectares an hour.
Yeah.
So it could be scary if you've got a huge amount of land and if you've got big open land, then it doesn't make sense for an SP. Yeah. If you've got a 120 foot, 150 foot, whatever it is, but you've got a 10,000 or a 13,000 litre boom, obviously it doesn't make sense because you're going to cover those hectares.
Yeah.
But if you've got similar land to me, or like you've got all that undulated country. Yeah, SP will win every single time.
Yeah, it seems to be the go. And at the end of it, you're not all twisted up as much. From being looking all the way out the back and going, now I've got to judge, is that rock pile, this height or not? And I've gone through this bump. That's the other part, is that you've got to think about the wheels of the machine behind you, not just your own wheels.
Yeah.
So you go through a bump and you go, oh, that's all good. And then you go through the bump of the trailer and you look and the boom's just going, wop, wop.
Yeah, and in crop spraying, you're not getting that extra tram as you're turning.
Yeah.
The advantage with the bigger boom and the four-wheel steer was we eliminated a headland.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I know that there's a couple of European... again, here we go. The European tug-alongs, they've got full steering axles that they can trace and follow very, very closely.
Yep.
But, that's very slow, very low productivity sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Or spraying. Yeah.
Yep. Rightio. All right, well, I think I've only got one 2AM and one grind your gears. So we'll get into that. And then after that, we'll get into our foodies.
A few to catch up on there.
We've got a few to catch up on. So let me just find, all right, our grind our gears. We won't say who it's from. He goes, I'm not sure if it's a 2 a.m. thought or grind my gears, but every night on the tractor, I see lights heading towards me. Gotta love him, but dear old dad started to act like he was Sheldon off the Big Bang Theory taking dinner order from his roommates. I get a call from him on the corner of the paddock. Have you checked the oil in the tractor? Yes, Dad. Do you have good enough fuel to get through? Yes, Dad. Have you done a seed check? Yes, Dad. What time you looking at knocking off? Whenever you stop micromanaging me and I can calm down from this phone call. Dad, go to bed. It's 3 a.m. in the morning.
Okay. I just want to know, is this the same guy that had him following up?
No, I don't think it is. I think it's a different guy. It could be the same guy.
Are they brothers? Surely there can't be two dads out there like this.
Oh, definitely. There definitely would be.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I've got to say, that's a grindy gears, but one day the reins will be let loose.
All right, and we've got a 2 a.m. thought from Bruni. Definitely some 2 a.m. thoughts thinking here. Even if it didn't happen, what are the odds that white barley we've been seeing was due to the aurora? Some pretty coincidental timing for me.
Ah, yes. I don't. Oh, where's the conspiracy theory button? Yes, yeah, here we go. I like it. This comes back full circle to frothy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the old physiological spotting? It's
I mean, what Frothy was saying was pretty intense though, with those random barley paddocks just dying.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it. Yeah. I'm gonna say yes.
Isolated solar strike.
Yes. Very specific isolated solar strike on barley, only barley at night time. Serafin Machinery have a special offer for glass cage listeners only.
As we lead into the end of the financial year period, Serafin have decided to drop the price of a Tatu DRCP60 speed disc X-Hire machine from $196,500 plus GST down to $145,000 plus GST with 3 months warranty.
A ripper of a deal for anyone in the market looking for a heavy-duty speed disc that's only worked 400 hectares, with a working width of 7.6 metres on 60 by 22-inch discs requiring 270 to 330 horsepower.
T's and C's apply. The special price does not include delivery and Serafin won't accept any trade-ins for this machine.
Give Rod at Serafin a call on 0488 644 777 to find out more or inquire through the Tatu speed disc link in the description. Secure this special price before June 30 by using the code GlassCagePod when inquiring.
Now back to the pod. All right, let's jump into some foodies.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is from Owen Ford. Now it doesn't come with a picture, so
Story only.
So story only.
Righto.
Had a seeding stuff up, finished on Saturday morning, jumped in this morning to drive it home and noticed the fertiliser lid wasn't latched. So back in for another 50 hectares this afternoon.
Oh, good. That's a good catch.
Yeah.
That's a good catch. So did he say that he was finished?
Yeah, finished. Finished Saturday night, gone on the beers. Obviously enjoyed his Sunday off, legs up, He's come back on Monday.
Yeah. I'd really like to know how many people he told that he had finished. That's a good one. That's a mid-tier. That's a low to mid-tier. Low tier because you found it.
Yeah. I'd almost nearly chuck it in the spreader.
I would too.
And just spread it. It depends. Maybe if it was phosphorus, you want to get that down. But if you've already got the seed down there, then
spread it on top.
Spread it.
I mean, it does open the interesting question, spreading phosphate in season. There has been some trial work done.
I mean, I spread the last of it out of my shed.
Exactly. So there we go.
All right. We got one from Hugo. Hey, guys. Just listened to the new pod. Thought I'd enter his FUTY. And he says, full transparency, it was actually happened last year. But still, send it in.
Yep.
I was folding up the boom on the old Hardy boom spray, and we have after their main boom spray broke down. Typical John Deere SP. When the booms almost made it into the cradle, the whole centre section managed to fall off and almost right off the entire sprayer. It was a massive pain to put it back together as the fence and the trees were in the way, to use the loaders to put the booms in the cradles to limp it home. And then we've got a few photos here. So it has been absolutely
Oh, my word.
demolished.
That is a good effort. Oh, wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah, I think it's typical because he'd just had the John Deere SP brake.
Yeah.
So he jumped in this one
Yeah.
and then that broke. And I sent something back to him going, oh, man, that sucks. He goes, yeah, it was the same paddock that the John Deere broke down in.
If you've got sheep, just put them in. Don't try and crop it.
That paddock is cursed from now on.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's the resultant damage of that. The fact that it's the backup. That's like the sub running on and then just snapping their ACL straight away. Like, what was the point?
Oh, man. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that's up there. Then you've got two boom strays to fix, and that's the one that you don't want to fix.
That's definitely high tier.
Yeah, it's a high tier effort. Yeah.
Not something that he did by his error.
Yeah.
Unless he hasn't been gracing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it is the backup. So
Yeah. All right. So our next one's from Ben. And he said it's mid-tier. So mid-tier FUTY nomination. In my glass cage, towards the end of a drawn-out and dry seeding, I took a swig from my drink bottle and placed it back on the floor of the corner of the tractor. A couple of minutes later, I went to press the Seedmaster switch foot pedal and the bottle was in the way. In a split second of frustration, I kicked it out, sending the drink bottle toppling into the front windscreen and creating a large crack.
Oh.
The old boy wasn't impressed to see a quote for almost $3,000 for a windscreen from Mother Deere. Just the classic.
That is a classic. We've had the exact same thing in our cat and in our header, one of our headers. Dude, that's because the level of frustration, I think that he's undersold it here being mid-tier. My friend, you've just turned a water bottle into $3,000 and a real ball ache.
It's an expensive water bottle.
Oh.
That's it's something he's done himself too.
Yeah.
Like we had our neighbour had a Kiwi working for him, and he got a bad phone call at the time.
Yeah.
And it was bad news or girlfriend breaking up with him, whatever it was.
Yeah.
He punched the GPS screen.
$13,000. Yeah.
And he got out and he goes to the neighbour. He goes, "Look, sorry, I was just a bit frustrated." And he goes, "It's coming out of your bloody paycheck, mate.
Yeah.
Your complete frustration. You've just gone and
punch the screen.
socked the screen."
Yeah. Nah, man. That's take the $3,000 and maybe use some of that for anger management.
Yeah.
Some counselling.
Yeah.
That's high tier because let's break it down here. You've done it to yourself. You've had to front up to the old man. It's cost you $3,000.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you got this one in from Ruben, and he said, Clint works with us. He was driving the old blue loader down the road, flat tack, when he went over a bump, causing the bucket to come off. Front wheel ran over the bucket. Bucket went under, snapped the front tail shaft, and put a hole in the sump. Loader stopped within its length. Clint was thrown against the roof, then against the front windscreen, and finally arrived at the floor.
I'm surprised that it didn't smash the front windscreen.
The picture,
I know.
it is like the old, like that's the emergency handbrake has come on.
I like the picture though, because the picture, to describe it to everybody, imagine a loader bucket, just like you're going in to pick up, going along the ground. It's just underneath the tractor.
Yeah.
Facing it didn't even roll, tip, anything.
It just straight under.
Straight, and it's just stopped. The tractor's gone over the top and then stopped on top of it.
Yeah.
It just looks brilliant how he's...
I think that the best part was that Reuben did say to me that he might actually be at fault because I don't think that he latched the pin.
Oh, no.
So it wasn't... The driver had no fault in this. They were just driving and all of a sudden buckets underneath them and they're on the ground. So I'm going to say that if Reuben was to win Yeti, he would probably have to hand it straight onto the driver. The resultant damage of that being the prop shaft, the tail shaft at the front,
and the sump. The sump isn't going to be easy to find on an old Ford, whatever number that is,
and the fuel
blue
tank.
Ford, and the fuel tank. Yeah, that's pretty special.
And maybe a couple of days off or a couple of meals at the pub for the driver. There's a few beers earned there.
We will. I reckon I'm going to have to get all these photos and I'll put them up at one point so you guys can go and swipe through them all because
we'll put them up in an album or something.
Yeah, because you need to obviously have a look at them.
Yeah. No, that's a mid to high tier effort. That one.
Yep.
So.
All right. So the next one now. There isn't a story behind this one. He's just written a very short thing. But I'd love to know what the story is.
Right.
Anyway, it's a nod to the sponsor as well because Daniel Edwards sent it in and he goes, got a FUTY for you boys. I got a little close with the big Serafin speed till 4.5 metre.
Oh.
Now, do you want to describe what that is?
That's an irrigator missing a wheel. That's a centre pivot.
He's driven into a centre pivot.
Dude, come on now.
It's not like they go very fast.
It's 4.5 metres wide.
I think that's nearly going to be up there with the best because
that is going to be a real ball ache to fix. It looks like it's one of the centre spans on the centre pivot.
So it's halfway down a centre pivot and he's run into it and taken the wheel off.
Clean snapped it too. That's a good effort.
And
that's resultant damage.
Yeah, was he just not looking at the GPS or it's not like that? It was on and moving and going at warp speed. The thing's going,
and he wouldn't be tilling while it's watering or that is 100% operator error. Resultant damage is massive.
Yeah.
That's high tier.
Yeah, it is it is just a special one.
Oh, wow. You won't do that one again.
Yeah, Daniel, it's a bloody good effort, that one.
Yeah.
All right, so our next FUTY, now we do have a few of these. We are catching up. All right, so this one is from Daniel Merritt. Not much of an explanation behind this one. But again, he said this one's from last year, and he replaced this with a SP pretty quick. Now, I'll let you explain to the viewers what you're seeing.
What?
It looks like it's a Hardy boom spray. I showed this to Bruni at hockey with the kids, and he reckons it's a Hardy boom spray that you could adjust your pivot point on. So back where it is, there's a bolt there.
Yes.
The drawbar pins obviously come out. The drawbar has then gone underneath and then lifted the whole thing right up in the air.
That's a pole vaulting.
It's classic tail shaft braking on a car movie, flipping it over and over and over.
Pole vault up, straight up. Yeah. That's what's impressive is that he's managed to stop and still have all the cables and stuff plugged in.
Yeah.
So
nothing was ripped out or.
Well, I mean, apart from the tow hitch. Look, I'll be honest, and it's night time. So that picture tells 1,000 words, doesn't it? It's that's a good effort. That's mid to high tier. That's mid high. That's just because how do you unfuck that?
I don't. You pull it backwards with a loader, I suppose, and
you just gas axe the bits off. And then just go.
If the drawbar's still good, you just pull it back up, bring out the old arc welder.
She'll never be the same.
All right. Now our last one here is from Muddy.
Oh, yes.
Now Muddy didn't give me an explanation.
Yeah.
Didn't say anything. I asked for an explanation back.
Yeah.
But nothing. Now I don't know if that means that he was driving or not because the photo is from the outside looking in.
Okay.
Now would you like to explain to people what you're looking at?
Jeez, that is shocking.
You are a dad.
That is a classic power pole strike with the DVS. That
someone hasn't judged going around the
At
power
all.
pole.
They haven't at all. That is
No, it looks
mid-section.
like they're like, no, it's not. It's like right on the end.
Yeah, but it's mid of that section.
Oh, middle of that, yeah. So I
Yeah.
think they're like getting ready to turn. They're trying to get it nice as close as they can.
Well, they got it close.
Yeah, they drove over it. The power line's on the ground. That
Yeah.
power line will be on the tractor.
Yeah, the track that looks like it's that is a big one. That's a stay in your cab, wait for Western Power.
Yeah, that's a 4 to 6 hours in the cab job.
Yeah,
Don't touch
hate
any
that.
metal.
I'd just like to point out that it's very rare to see a Morris with 4 wheels. So a FUTY where the Morris hasn't failed.
It's toe behind, so that's why.
There we go. Yeah, that explains it. That's obviously just instantly puts itself into high tier operator error. That's impacted not only yourself, your shift. It's impacted all of the guys who have to come out to fix it.
The neighbours that were,
The community that
halfway
relies
through
on the
showering,
power.
and there goes their water.
Good effort. Don't do that one, guys. That's high tier.
The only way I could say that this is not the driver at fault would be if this was at night time when it happened, and yeah,
Questionable.
questionable. But you know how you meant to, or you should go and put high-vis tape or high-vis reflectors on. Like we haven't, but that'd be the only forgivable, but definitely not pulling it down to the ground, I suppose.
I'm going to go ahead and say that the only other way that it would be forgivable, because I noticed that there is a red tractor at the front, is if there was Trimble steering in that thing.
It's just slammed him back.
Slammed him into
Slammed his auto steer back on.
Okay, if that is the one caveat out of that. If that happens, then we're sending a Yeti to Trimble HQ.
Oh, fantastic! Well, we're all caught up. I reckon we'll probably leave the potty there. A good catch up episode.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't catch up. We'll finish it off with our little catch up. How have you been this last? What have you guys been doing?
Lots of spraying.
Yes, I saw up opposite us there was two in tandem.
Yep. We're just smacking out the broadleaf, trying to get that under control while they're still small.
Yep.
Other than that, that's spraying before that was Roundup over the Roundup Ready. We'll start to go out over the glyphosate soon. Sort of just, and lots of spreading as well. Rigby has been flat out with the spreader. Just ticking off jobs.
Yeah, no, we're pretty much the same. Henry's finished the broadleaf spray and the barley.
Yep.
He could only do 2 paddocks a week because the other wheat isn't advanced yet. It was the latest sown stuff and it didn't go into moisture.
Yeah.
So we've got stuff that's ready to be sprayed and stuff that's like 3 leaf. So we're really close, but we need it to be 4.
Yeah.
And then I've been flat out spreading, and then Henry's been flat out on the spreader too when he's not been able to spray.
Yep.
So we got all of the spreading done, and then we got 11 mils of rain. So
Good.
it was fantastic.
Yep.
So
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good timing.
yeah, very good timing. So anyway, we'll leave it there, eh?
Roger.
So again, thank you very much to Serafin, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
See ya.
That's a foodie.
Oh, wow.
We'll do this one.
Professionals.